just wanted to fix up the backyard. But while digging, Lucas found a buried phone, hidden for years. Inside, there was a forbidden video, something so shocking it should never have been recorded. Who filmed it? What were they trying to hide? And why, right after, they threatened his family to keep it silent? This is one of those emotional stories that feels unreal, but is true. An ordinary man facing a buried secret that could destroy lives. Get ready, because what Lucas discovered in the end changed everything. Until the end, as the end of this story will leave you speechless. You, in his place, do you have the courage to reveal the shocking truth? If you love emotional stories, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button. Here, we always have emotional stories that touch your heart. Now, shall we hear today's emotional story?
We're in a small countryside town where everything seems peaceful. A simple routine, slow days, and a life marked by a connection to the land. Lucas, 35 years old, a humble man, his face weathered by the sun and hard work, his hands calloused. This is Lucas, a common man, a hard worker who's always found in the land his refuge and livelihood. Married, father of 2, he values honesty and the simplicity of rural life. That morning, Lucas decided to plant a tree in the backyard to honor his father, who had recently passed away. A gesture of love and remembrance. But what seemed like an ordinary day would soon become the beginning of the greatest challenge of his life. While digging, Lucas's shovel hit something strange. He unearthed an old cell phone, screen cracked and covered in dirt, a device that at that moment looked like nothing more than buried trash. But there was something in it that no one could have imagined. Lucas wipes the phone, a slight smile of curiosity. Curious, Lucas decided to turn on the phone. And there, amid dust and forgotten time, appeared a video that would turn his life upside down. But what he saw on that screen was not just any video. It was a forbidden recording, a secret many wanted to keep buried forever. Lucas looks around, worried, hands trembling. Suddenly, what was a simple discovery became a threat. Lucas knew that by watching that video, his life would never be the same. But what exactly was in that video? And why would someone bury a phone with such dangerous content? That answer, you'll find out in the next episode.
Lucas was still stunned, holding that phone which seemed to carry the weight of the world. The small town around him continued its routine, but for him, the world was starting to fall apart. Lucas walked slowly towards his home, staring at the phone with fear and curiosity. The backyard, which until recently was symbol of peace and memories, now seemed a place of mysteries and shadows. The simple idea of a secret buried there filled him with anxiety. Maria, Lucas's wife, a strong woman with a generous heart, realized something was wrong. Her eyes searched to understand what was going on in her husband's mind. Conflict at home. Maria, a soft, concerned voice. Lucas, are you okay? What happened to you? Lucas, a hesitant, trembling voice. I found something in the backyard. A phone. There's a video in it, Maria. A video that I shouldn't have seen. The revelation cast a shadow over the peace of the house. Maria felt a chill down her spine, realizing that this could bring consequences far more severe than they imagined. Lucas decides to watch the video. Lucas sits, phone in his hand. The screen glows on his face, revealing his growing concern. Despite his fear, curiosity won. Lucas knew he needed to watch what that video revealed, even if it meant changing his life forever. The video began with blurry footage, images that seemed out of place, and whispers in an inaudible language. Slowly, the scene came into focus, and a mysterious figure appeared, someone related to a crime forgotten long ago. A familiar voice. Lucas widens his eyes, recognizing a voice in the video. And then, something unexpected. The voice in the video belonged to someone Lucas knew very well, someone he'd never suspected to be involved in such a dark story. A challenge appears. Now, Lucas must face an unthinkable choice. Ignore the video and carry on with his life, or confront the truth, even if it means risking everything he loves. What would you do if it were you? Would you hide the secret and live in ignorance, or seek the truth, no matter the cost? Think carefully, because in the following block, the pressure builds and things get even more intense.
Rising tension, Lucas between fear and truth. Lucas couldn't sleep that night. The sound of that familiar voice echoed in his mind like a dark whisper. Each heartbeat seemed to remind him that he now carried a dangerous secret, something he couldn't simply forget. Maria notices Lucas's desperation. Maria, soft voice, almost a whisper. Lucas, tell me, who was in the video? Why are you so scared? Lucas, red eyes, worn out expression. Maria, it was Zay from the market. I swear I recognized his voice. And there was someone else with him, but I couldn't see clearly. It felt like they were planning something terrible. Zay from the market wasn't just an acquaintance. He was the godfather of Lucas's youngest daughter, a respected man in town, always seen as a good family man. That made everything even more absurd and dangerous. The phone shuts off by itself. Lucas tries to show the video to Maria, but as he hits play, the screen goes black. At the exact moment he was going to show the recording to Maria, the screen went black. The phone shut off as if something or someone didn't want the truth to come out. Lucas felt a tightness in his chest. Was it just a glitch in the old device or a warning to stop digging? Even afraid, something inside him told him he had to see it through. The phone won't charge. Lucas plugs the phone into the charger, looks on anxiously. The battery wouldn't charge. The device seemed dead, like it had never been turned on. And with that, Lucas was left only with blurry memories of what he saw, and no solid proof. Dramatic decision, to tell or not to tell. Now Lucas faces another choice. Tell someone in town what he saw and risk not being believed, or worse, drawing unwanted attention, or keep everything to himself, letting the secret remain buried in his heart. But what if what he saw in the video was real? What if someone found out he had the phone? Lucas didn't know, but soon he'd realize he wasn't as safe as he thought. A moment of deep emotion. Lucas watches his family sleeping, eyes full of tears. He looked at Maria and the children sleeping. The fear of losing everything he loved was greater than any courage. Yet, deep in his heart, something screamed that the truth had to be revealed. A new threat emerges. Noise outside the house at night. Lucas gets up, takes a deep breath. Suddenly, a strange noise coming from the yard. Footsteps, as if someone was out there, searching for something. Maybe for the same phone Lucas had found. And what about you? In his place, would you go out and face whoever it was, or stay hidden, praying it was just your imagination? Tell us in the comments, because in the next chapter, Lucas will discover the danger is closer than he ever imagined.
Fear takes shape. Lucas investigates the backyard. Lucas grabbed the flashlight with a trembling hand. Each step toward the backyard felt heavier than the last. The wind rustled the leaves, casting shadows that danced and confused his eyes. But what terrified him most wasn't the darkness. It was the idea that someone might really be out there, looking for the buried phone. Lucas shines the flashlight into the backyard, breathing heavily, eyes alert. The beam passes through the trees, over the disturbed ground where he found the phone. His heart was racing, mouth dry. And then, something moved behind the chicken coop. A whisper. For a moment, Lucas thought he heard his name. A hoarse whisper, almost drowned out by the wind. He turned quickly, but no one was there. The dilemma grows. Was his mind playing tricks on him? Or did someone know he had seen the video and wanted to make sure the secret stayed buried? The phone disappears. Lucas runs back inside, opens the drawer where he left the phone. It's empty. The phone was gone, as if it had vanished. Lucas felt the ground disappear beneath his feet. No evidence, no video. All he had left was his word and his memories. Maria's reaction, distrust and fear. Maria, wide up, tense voice. Lucas, are you sure you're not imagining things? Who would break in just to take an old phone? Lucas, low voice, almost a whisper. Someone who knows what's on that video. The conflict deepens, a dramatic decision. Lucas needed to know more. He had to find out who was in that video, What was really happening there? But where to start with no proof? The only clue was that voice, Zeh from the market. Lucas decides to confront Zeh. Lucas leaves early, walking to the local market, serious expression. The next day, he found the courage. He went to the market ready to face the man he'd known since childhood, but who now seemed to be hiding something terrible. Tense conversation, Zeh from the market. Lucas, trying to sound calm. Zeh, can I talk to you real quick? About something I found? Zeh, suspicious look, furrowed brow. Found? What thing, man? Heavy silence. Lucas hesitated. Fear froze him, and in that moment he noticed something strange in Zeh's eyes. It wasn't surprise. It was nervousness. New information deepens the mystery. Zeh looked away, wiped the counter with unnecessary force. Asked too quickly, but what did you find? Lucas was sure, he knew. Lucas's decision, holding back the truth, tension builds. Lucas, trying to play it cool. Oh, nothing. Just some old thing in the backyard. Thought it might be yours. Zeh, swallowing hard. No, it's not mine. A suspicious phrase. Zeh, in an almost inaudible tone. Some things are better left buried, Lucas. Maximum tension. The phrase echoed in Lucas's mind like a warning, or a threat. Suddenly, the market felt too small, suffocating. And you, if you were in Lucas's shoes, would you tell the whole truth right away, or keep quiet until you were sure? Let us know in the comments, because in the next chapter, Lucas will discover that the secret is far more dangerous than he ever imagined.
The weight of the secret. Lucas feels the world close in. Lucas came back home with his heart racing. Each step felt heavier. The words from Zeh hammered in his head, some things are better left buried. It was as if those words carried a silent threat, a clear warning to keep quiet. Lucas looks at his family, full of fear. He realized how big the risk really was. It wasn't just about him. It was about Maria, about the kids. The fear of losing everything he loved mixed with an almost desperate need to know the whole truth. An anonymous envelope. Lucas finds a brown envelope in the mailbox. No sender. Without courage to wait, he opened it right there. Inside, a single sheet of paper. On it, a short, almost cold message. If you keep going, everyone will pay. Tension and direct threat. Lucas felt a chill run down his spine. It wasn't just a veiled warning anymore. It was a direct threat. Dramatic decision. Telling Maria. Lucas, hoarse voice, almost breaking. Maria, they know I know. They sent this. Maria, eyes full of fear. Lucas, please, stop this. Give it to the police. Tell someone. Internal conflict. Report it or protect the family. Lucas knew that if he reported it, he'd need proof. But the phone had disappeared and the only thing left was his word against the silence of those who wanted everything forgotten. Lucas decides to dig deeper. Even terrified, Lucas decided to search for answers. He needed to understand what was really on that video. Then he remembered something important. The video showed an old building behind the town's abandoned warehouse. New challenge. Go to the dangerous place. At night, Lucas walked toward the warehouse holding a weak flashlight in his hand. Each step, the crunch of dry leaves underfoot made his heart pound in his chest. The dark, forgotten warehouse seemed to hold memories no one should ever dig up. A sign of proof. Among the debris, Lucas found a piece of cloth stained with something dark. It wasn't much, but it was something. A remnant of that night shown in the video. Lucas felt a spark of hope. Maybe he wasn't so alone after all. New obstacle. Someone is watching. But then, he heard footsteps. Soft, careful steps. Lucas quickly turned off the flashlight, trying to hide behind a stack of old boards. Heart pounding. Sound of Lucas breathing faster, the camera shaking slightly. Lucas felt his chest about to explode. Who could be there? Had they followed him? He didn't know, but he was sure he wasn't alone. And you, in his place, would you stay hidden until the person left,
or step out to face them even without knowing who it was? Write it here in the comments, because in the next part, Lucas will discover the danger around him is greater than he ever imagined. Danger gets closer. Lucas holds his breath. Lucas held his breath, ears tuned to the slightest sound. The footsteps grew closer, then stopped. It was as if someone else was listening too, waiting, ready to attack or flee. Sound of a branch breaking. A sharp snap echoed through the abandoned shed. Lucas closed his eyes for a second, trying to control his fear. He knew he didn't have much time. He needed to decide quickly, run out of there or try to find out who was behind all this. Dramatic decision. Face the fear. With his heart pounding so hard it hurt, Lucas decided to step out from behind the boards. The flashlight in his hand was off and trembling, but he took 2 steps forward. The unknown flees. The rapid sound of footsteps running away. Whoever it was ran out of the shed before Lucas could see their face. Everything fell silent again, leaving only the echo of footsteps disappearing into the night. Fear turns to anger. Lucas felt something change inside him. The fear that paralyzed him began to give way to anger. Who were these people to threaten him, scare him, and put his family in danger? Lucas follows the footprints. Lucas left the shed, flashlight back on, illuminating faint footprints in the damp earth. Even without knowing who he was facing, Lucas decided to follow the tracks. Maybe it was his only chance to get closer to the truth. An object left behind. Among the leaves, Lucas found a rusty metal keychain with the initials JM engraved. It was little, but it was something concrete. JM. Lucas tried to remember someone from town with those initials. Then something churned his stomach. João Martins, childhood friend and right-hand man to Z from the market. The internal conflict deepens. Lucas knew that if he was right, João could also be involved in whatever that video showed. But why? And how far would they go to hide it? Returning home in the dark. It was almost dawn when Lucas returned home, tired and confused. His mind was racing with unanswered questions. In his chest, the fear that he was playing with something much bigger than he could imagine. Maria's support. Maria waited for him on the porch, hugging Lucas tightly. Maria, soft voice, full of fear and care. I know you're scared, Lucas, but you won't go through this alone. Whatever it is, we'll face it together. That hug was like breathing after nearly drowning. For a moment, Lucas felt he wasn't so alone after all. Someone is watching. Across the street, a figure stood in the shadows, watching Lucas's house. Only the outline was visible, face hidden. But while Lucas found comfort in his wife's arms, across the street, someone was watching. Silent. Still. Waiting. Maybe planning the next move. And you, if you were Lucas, would you keep investigating even knowing you're being watched, or would you give up to protect those you love? Comment below, because in the next block, Lucas will discover something that completely changes everything he thought he knew. A revelation that shakes everything. Days went by, but Lucas couldn't get the initials on the keychain out of his head. J.M. Determined to understand, he went after João Martins, hoping to find answers or at least figure out what was really happening. Tense meeting with João Martins. Lucas arrives at the old mechanic shop. Dim light, sound of tools in the background. João appears, face closed. João, we need to talk. About the phone I found and the video that was on it. João with a threatening tone. Lucas, you have no idea what you're getting into. Some things are better left alone. João confesses a secret. To Lucas's surprise, João hesitated, looked around, and began to speak softly, as if revealing a secret that could cost lives. Years ago, some bad things happened. Things nobody ever wanted to come to light. The video you saw is just the tip of the iceberg. Powerful people are involved, and they won't stop until they're sure you're gone. Rising tension. Lucas felt the weight of the threat. It wasn't just his life at risk. His family, even his entire town could be destroyed by that buried truth. Dramatic decision. Seeking help. Lucas, determined. I can't hide this anymore.
I need to tell someone who can help, and fast. Lucas looks for a local journalist. Lucas calls the number of a well-known investigative journalist in town, his face determined. With the little he knew, Lucas sought help outside the circle of danger, a journalist who had already uncovered similar cases. It was the only hope to bring that story to light. A possible ally. Journalist, firm voice on the phone. If what you're saying is true, this could blow up. I want to hear everything, Lucas. An immediate warning. But before he could feel safe, the threat returned, clearer than ever. Do you think Lucas will be able to reveal the whole truth? Or will the danger silence him first? Leave your opinion in the comments, and don't miss the next part where everything will finally explode. The moment of truth. Lucas was almost ready to give up, but something inside him screamed louder. The truth had to come out, even if it cost everything. With the journalist waiting for answers, Lucas decided to reveal everything he knew, and the little proof he had. Secret meeting with the journalist. Lucas and the journalist sitting on a bench away from the square at night. The distant sound of wind, dry leaves blowing. Lucas, voice shaky but firm. I don't have the phone anymore, but I saw what was on the video. It was Zay and Juan Martins. They talked about money, hiding evidence, and something much worse. There was another name mentioned, someone who controls everything. An unexpected name. Journalist, frowning, taking notes. Who was that other name, Lucas? Lucas, swallowing hard. It was the name of the town's police chief, the one everyone trusts. The journalist's reaction. Journalist, surprised, almost whispering. If that's true, it explains why no one ever investigated anything. The threat becomes real. The journalist's phone vibrates. He answers quickly, but no one speaks. On the other end, only heavy breathing. That silence said it all. They knew Lucas was talking, and they wouldn't allow it. Lucas's final decision: protect his family. Lucas understood that from now on, there was no turning back. He could disappear or resist, but he wouldn't let Maria and the children pay the price. Lucas hands everything to the journalist. Lucas pulls out the keychain with the initials JM and an old photo of the warehouse he found hidden in the yard. Lucas, determined. It's all I have, but if it's enough to start, do it. The pain and the courage. Handing over that evidence felt like giving away a part of himself. Lucas knew that by exposing everything, he would never have peace again. But for the love of his children, he chose to face the storm rather than live in lies. The journalist promises to act. Journalist, looking straight into Lucas's eyes. I'll publish it. This won't stay buried, Lucas. Whatever it takes. The final reflection. And you, in his place, would you have the courage to face such powerful people or stay silent? Write here in the comments. And if you liked this story, subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell because more emotional stories are coming. Thank you for staying with us until now. You are part of this journey, and believe me, the best is yet to come.